Hi boys and girls, this is the second part of our review. Okay, and we're going to be going over some problems that you will see similar problems on your test. Okay, so first, when we were learning multiplication, when we were learning subtraction and addition, one way that we learned is by using the number line and by jumping to get to your answer. So you need to be able to recognize what kind of a problem this would represent if you see something like this in your paper. First of all, you need to look and decide whether or not it is addition or subtraction. So we talked about how addition always starts here and goes this way because it's going up. Subtraction always starts on this side of the number line and works backwards because your numbers are getting smaller. So in this case, we see that there's an arrow here, we see that there's an arrow here, and there's an arrow here. So in this problem, we are working backwards. Our number's getting smaller, so it's subtraction. So then you need to be able to recognize, well, what are we subtracting? What are we starting with? Well, our largest number on the number line is where we're starting, so it's 462, and we are going to subtract whatever is up here. See, in this case, we subtracted first 100. 462 minus 100 brings us to 362. Okay, the next number that we subtracted was 40. Okay, we subtracted 40 from 362, and we got 322. And then we subtracted 3. 322 minus 3 is 319. Okay, so our whole problem here is 462 minus 143 equals 319. And that's how you solve that kind of a problem. Next, okay, I wrote this problem out. You're going to see something like this. Your question will say something like, okay, if the area of the land is 30,829 square miles, but water covers 4,826 square miles of that land, how many square miles is the actual land? Okay, this is actually the area of the total state, let's say. Okay, not land. This is the total here. That's the whole area. And then we learned that this much of it is the water. So we want to know how many square miles are the actual land. So how would we solve that? Well, we know that the total here is 30,829. We know that part of that is the water, 4,826, and we're missing that one piece. Okay, how much is the land? So in order to solve a problem like this, we have the total, but you're missing a part. We're going to take the total, and we're going to subtract out what we know, and that's going to give us the missing number. So we're going to do 30,829 minus 4,826. Okay, and that's going to be 300, and then we're going to borrow, and we get 26,003. This state has 26,003 square miles of land. Okay, and then the last problem that we're going to do looks like this. I just need a little bit of space, so I'm going to erase right up above it here. Okay, say we have a goal. The students at Leesylvania have a goal of selling 800 boxes of candy. Okay, in January they sell 366 boxes, and in February they sell 299 boxes, and we want to know how many more they need to sell in order to reach their goal. Well, using the bar method, just like we did up above, okay, we have our total of what we want. Our total is 800. Okay, now we have 3 different parts though, not just 2 like up here. We have what we sold in January, 366, February, 299, and then we're missing our third part, what we're selling in March. Okay, so how do we solve a problem like this? Well, just as above, just as in the above question, we have our total and we're missing an amount. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to subtract. But we need to figure out first how much we're going to subtract. We want to add what we know so far. We know what we got in what we sold in January. We know what we sold in February. Let's add those two together. 299. And we get 665. That is how much we've sold so far. So in order now to figure out what our missing number is, we're going to subtract this from the goal. So we're going to take the 800 and we're going to subtract 665. Okay, I'm going to make that a 7. It's a 10, then a 9, and then this is a 10, 5, 3, 135. Okay, they have to sell 135 boxes of candy in March in order to reach their goal. Now, another way that you could solve this is you could, let's see, you know that the goal is 800. You know that they sold 366. You could go ahead and subtract one at a time. So subtract this. Okay, after January, that means they had 434 more boxes to sell. Then after February, let's go ahead and subtract this one out. See, now we're just doing it. It's the same thing, just doing it one at a time. Okay, so we subtracted the 299, and it leaves us with 135, which would be our missing number. So you can do it either way. Either add these up and then subtract, or subtract and then subtract again to get your missing number.